Number 1. This 1938 Ford Sedan, currently listed at $8,500 in West Greenwich, Rhode Island, is a classic pre-war barn find that retains its original character while offering strong potential as the foundation for a traditional hot rod build or restoration project. According to the seller, this Ford remains largely all original and has been sitting in storage as a barn find. It is described as a running and driving vehicle, although it does require some TLC to bring it back into better overall condition. Finished in its original era steel body, the car represents one of Ford's iconic late 1930s sedan designs, known for its simple yet timeless pre-war styling. In my opinion, the most interesting aspect of this vehicle is its balance between originality and potential. Unlike fully restored show cars, this Ford still carries the authenticity of an untouched survivor, which many collectors and builders find valuable. Cars like this often serve as ideal starting points for hot rod projects because they provide a solid, original foundation without excessive modern modifications. The seller also mentions that the vehicle is structurally solid, which is a very important factor when evaluating barn find from this era. Many surviving pre-war cars suffer from severe rust or structural damage, so a solid body increases both restoration feasibility and long-term value potential. Additionally, this Ford is being sold with a bill of sale rather than a title, which is common for older barn find vehicles, but is still something buyers should carefully consider depending on their state regulations. While it may require additional paperwork, it does not necessarily reduce its appeal for experienced restorers or hot rod builders. Personally, I believe the 1938 Ford Sedan is one of the most versatile platforms from the late 1930s. Its body style works equally well as a restored factory-style classic or as the base for a traditional hot rod build. The simplicity of its original design leaves plenty of room for customization, whether that means retaining its vintage charm or transforming it into a more performance-oriented machine. For enthusiasts seeking an affordable entry into pre-war Ford ownership, this example presents a compelling opportunity. At $8,500, it offers a solid, running foundation with genuine barn find character and strong potential for future restoration or customization projects. Number 2. This 1937 Ford Model 78 Standard Sedan, currently listed at $13,750 in Leonardtown, Maryland, is a very honest and approachable pre-war classic that offers a good balance between originality, light restoration work, and usable drivability. Compared to fully restored show cars, this Ford stands out as a more practical entry point into vintage ownership, especially for someone who appreciates the early Ford design language and the legendary flathead V8 era. According to the seller, the car is partially restored and powered by a 221 cubic inch flathead V8 paired with a 3-speed manual transmission. This is a historically significant drivetrain combination, as Ford's flathead V8 helped define affordable performance in the 1930s and 1940s. The vehicle is reported to run and drive well, which is an important detail for a car of this age, as many examples often require extensive mechanical work before becoming roadworthy. From my perspective, one of the most appealing aspects of this listing is the list of recent mechanical updates. The seller notes that several key components have already been replaced or upgraded, including new drag link and tie rod ends, new brakes, a new dual exhaust system, new radial tires, and a new stoplight switch. These improvements suggest that the car has been actively maintained with an emphasis on safety and basic drivability rather than being left as a static restoration project. The Model 78 Standard Sedan itself represents a classic pre-war Ford body style, characterized by its upright proportions, rounded fenders, and simple but elegant design. While it does not have the aggressive hot rod modifications seen in some builds, its appeal lies in its authenticity and historical value. In many ways, it offers a more original driving experience that reflects what American roads were like in the late 1930s. The seller also mentions that the vehicle was purchased a few years ago in largely unchanged condition and has been improved gradually since then. This kind of incremental restoration approach is often a good sign, as it typically indicates careful ownership rather than rushed or low-quality modifications. Serious inquiries are directed to the owner via phone, which suggests a more personal, private sale transaction rather than a large dealership environment. Overall, I believe this 1937 Ford Model 78 standard sedan is a solid vintage driver that would appeal to someone looking for a classic pre-war Ford with mechanical updates already completed. It may not be a fully restored showpiece, but its combination of originality, usability, and the iconic flathead V8 engine makes it a very attractive option for enthusiasts who want a classic they can actually enjoy on the road. Number 3. This 1936 Chevrolet all-steel 5-window street rod, currently listed at $33,500 in Hartford, Connecticut, is a professionally built custom hot rod that blends classic pre-war Chevrolet styling with modern performance engineering. According to the seller, this vehicle was constructed with no expense spared and has even earned multiple trophies, including a Best of Show award, which reflects the quality of the build and attention to detail. Under the hood, the car is powered by a 355 cubic inch Chevrolet Crate V8 engine equipped with a mild cam, headers, and roller rockers. It is paired with a rebuilt 2004 transmission featuring a shift kit and overdrive, along with a 3.25 rear gear ratio. In my opinion, this combination is a smart setup for a street-driven classic, offering both strong performance and comfortable highway cruising ability, which is often a key goal in well-built street rods. The seller states that the chassis has been upgraded with a Mustang 2 front suspension system and front disc brakes, significantly improving handling and stopping power compared to the original 1930s configuration. A Ford 9-inch rear end and custom exhaust system further enhance both durability and driving feel, while also giving the car a more aggressive sound and road presence. One of the standout aspects of this build is its balance between classic aesthetics and modern usability. The all-steel body retains the iconic 1936 Chevrolet 5-window design, which is widely admired for its flowing lines and vintage character. At the same time, the custom paintwork, upgraded suspension, and performance drivetrain bring it firmly into the modern hot rod category. Inside, the vehicle features a custom Sony sound system, adding a contemporary entertainment element to the driving experience. While not factory original, it aligns with the overall concept of this build as a comfortable, enjoyable cruiser rather than a strict restoration project. The seller also notes that the car was built by a well-known California street rod shop, with a reported investment exceeding $50,000. In my view, this detail is important because professional builds from reputable shops often carry higher consistency in workmanship and reliability. Overall, if the description is accurate, this 1936 Chevrolet 5-window street rod represents a well-executed blend of vintage design and modern performance. It appears to be a show-quality hot rod that is equally capable of being driven and enjoyed, making it a strong option for enthusiasts who want classic style without sacrificing comfort or drivability. Number 4. This 1953 Dodge Coronet Diplamat, currently listed at $10,500 in Greenville, North Carolina, is a classic early 1950s American two-door hardtop that represents an important moment in Dodge history. It is powered by the legendary 241 Hemi V8, marking the first year Dodge introduced the Hemi engine, which has since become one of the most iconic power plants in automotive history. According to the seller, this vehicle is equipped with a 3-speed manual transmission mounted on the column, and it is said to run, drive, and stop well. That alone makes it a usable classic rather than just a static project, which is an important factor for anyone considering an entry-level vintage car like this. In my opinion, the most interesting part of this car is its historical significance rather than its cosmetic condition. Early Hemi-powered Dodges are highly respected among collectors, and even in a more worn condition, they still carry strong appeal because of what they represent in automotive engineering development. The car was reportedly restored in the late 1970s, and while it was originally a rust-free example, time has taken its toll on the lacquer paint, which is now beginning to show signs of deterioration and peeling in certain areas. However, I think this kind of aging is fairly expected for a restoration that is several decades old, especially when modern paint protection methods were not used at the time. Inside, the interior was also replaced during the same restoration period, and the seller notes that it still presents quite nicely today. While it may not have modern finishes or upgrades, the cabin likely retains a period-correct vintage feel that matches the character of the early 1950s design. The vehicle is showing approximately 62,000 miles, which may or may not be original, but it does suggest that the car has not been excessively driven in recent years. For a classic of this age, the overall mechanical condition being described as functional, running, driving, and stopping well, is a positive sign, especially at this price point. Overall, this 1953 Dodge Coronet Diplamat appears to be more of a driver-quality classic than a show car. It offers historical value through its early Hemi engine, a usable driving condition, and a relatively affordable entry into vintage American automotive ownership. While it will likely require cosmetic attention in the future, it still holds appeal for enthusiasts who appreciate originality and early post-war Dodge engineering. Number 5. This 1936 Ford two-door sedan, currently listed at $31,500 in Lebanon, Ohio, is a fully built custom street rod that blends classic pre-war Ford styling with modern performance upgrades and everyday drivability. In my opinion, what immediately stands out about this car is how far it has been updated from its original factory configuration. While it still carries the iconic body lines of 1936 Ford, it has clearly been transformed into a performance-oriented cruiser designed to be driven rather than just displayed. Power comes from a 355 cubic inch V8 engine, reportedly producing around 375 horsepower. Paired with a 700R4 automatic transmission, this setup suggests strong acceleration combined with relaxed highway cruising thanks to overdrive gearing. In my view, this combination makes the car much more usable in modern traffic compared to its original drivetrain. The chassis and handling components have also been significantly upgraded. It features a Mustang 2 front suspension, which is a popular choice in the hot rod community for improving steering precision and ride quality. Power front disc brakes, along with power steering and power brakes, further enhance control and safety, making the car feel far more modern behind the wheel. One of the more appealing comfort upgrades is the inclusion of vintage air conditioning and heating, both reported to be fully functional. From my perspective, this is a major advantage because it allows the vehicle to be enjoyed in a wider range of weather conditions, which is not something most original 1930s cars can offer. The seller also notes that all major electrical components are working properly, including the horn, lights, turn signals, and brake lights. While that may sound basic, in the world of custom classics, having a fully sorted electrical system is actually a strong positive sign of a well-finished build. Finished in a striking purple exterior with a gray interior, the car has a bold custom appearance that sets it apart from traditional restorations. Personally, I think this color choice gives it a more personalized hot rod identity rather than a strictly factory-correct restoration look. Overall, this 1936 Ford sedan represents a well-executed blend of vintage styling and modern drivability. At $31,500, it sits in the range of a ready-to-drive custom classic that offers performance, comfort, and visual impact all in one package. For someone looking for a pre-war Ford that can be enjoyed immediately without major upgrades, this one presents a compelling option. Number 6. This 1934 Ford 5-window coupe, currently listed at $38,000 in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, is a classic hot rod build that combines the iconic pre-war Ford coupe body style with proven Chevrolet V8 power and a show-ready presentation designed for both driving enjoyment and public attention. According to the seller, this vehicle is a mechanic-owned showstopper, which suggests it has been carefully maintained and built with a practical understanding of performance and reliability. The car is powered by a 1967 Chevrolet 327 cubic inch V8 engine, a well-regarded small block known for its strong performance, durability, and widespread use in classic hot rod builds. The drivetrain setup includes a Chevrolet 350 automatic transmission paired with a Ford 8-inch differential, a combination often chosen for its balance of strength and availability of parts. While purists may note the mixed brand configuration, in my opinion, this type of setup is very common in traditional hot rod culture, where reliability and drivability often take priority over brand originality. The body of the coupe is described as all steel, which is a highly desirable feature in the hot rod market, as original steel bodies tend to hold more value and authenticity compared to fiberglass replicas. However, it is also noted that the car uses fiberglass fenders on all four corners, a practical modification that can reduce weight and simplify repairs while still maintaining the classic appearance of the vehicle. The seller states that the car is in very good condition, has a clean title, and shows no significant damage or mechanical issues. With approximately 8,874 miles driven, it appears to have been used primarily as a weekend or show vehicle rather than a daily driver. It is also described as a parade favorite, indicating that it has likely been showcased in local events and gatherings, where its classic styling and strong presence would stand out. In my opinion, the 1934 Ford 5-window coupe remains one of the most iconic hot rod platforms ever produced. Its compact proportions, flowing lines, and unmistakable silhouette make it a favorite among builders and collectors alike. When paired with a reliable 327 V8 and automatic transmission, it becomes a classic that is not only visually striking, but also easy to enjoy on modern roads. For enthusiasts seeking a pre-war Ford coupe that is already built, mechanically sorted, and ready to drive, this example offers a compelling package. At $38,000, it represents a well-known hot rod formula that blends classic American styling with proven Chevrolet performance and show-ready appeal. Number 7. This 1941 Chevrolet Master Deluxe Coupe, currently listed at $11,500 in Factoryville, Pennsylvania, is a straightforward pre-war classic that offers solid potential as a budget-friendly vintage driver or light restoration project. While it is not a fully restored show car, it presents itself as a usable and largely original example that still retains much of its character from the early 1940s Chevrolet lineup. According to the seller, the car shows 80,500 miles and is described as having a good engine and strong braking system, which is an encouraging sign for a vehicle of this age. The interior is reported to be in very good condition, while the exterior paint is described as fair, suggesting that the car has aged naturally over time rather than undergoing a complete cosmetic restoration. This balance often appeals to buyers who prefer originality over perfection. From my perspective, what makes this listing interesting is the amount of recent mechanical work that has already been completed. The seller notes several new or rebuilt components, including a rebuilt carburetor, rebuilt starter, new fuel pump, and a new battery. In addition, a brand new carpet set is included with the car, giving the next owner an immediate upgrade option for the interior. These updates indicate that the vehicle has been kept in running condition rather than left to deteriorate. The 1941 Chevrolet Master Deluxe itself represents a classic example of early American automotive design, with smooth flowing fenders, a simple but elegant coupe body style, and a focus on comfort and reliability for its era. While it does not carry the performance reputation of some other vintage models, it is appreciated today for its nostalgic styling and ease of maintenance compared to more complex classics. In my opinion, this particular example seems best suited for someone who wants an affordable entry into pre-war Chevrolet ownership without taking on a full frame-off restoration project. The combination of a running drivetrain, basic mechanical refreshes, and included interior materials makes it a practical starting point for either preservation or gradual improvement. Overall, I believe this 1941 Chevy Coupe Master Deluxe offers decent value for its price range, especially for enthusiasts who prioritize classic styling, usability, and incremental restoration potential over perfect cosmetic condition. Number 8. This 1936 Plymouth Sedan, currently listed at $30,000 in Leachfield, Kentucky, is a fully custom-built street rod that combines classic pre-war American design with modern Chevrolet mechanical components for improved performance and drivability. According to the seller, The car is powered by a 350 cubic inch V8 engine paired with a 700 R4 automatic transmission, a popular combination in the hot rod community due to its reliability, strong power delivery, and overdrive capability for comfortable highway cruising. In my opinion, this setup is one of the most practical swaps for vintage builds like this, because it allows the car to retain its classic appearance while performing like a much newer vehicle on the road. The listing also states that the body remains all steel, which is an important detail for collectors and enthusiasts who value authenticity in custom builds. Many street rods from this era use fiberglass bodies, so retaining original steel construction generally adds both structural integrity and long-term appeal. This Plymouth has been upgraded with modern comfort and convenience features, including power steering, power brakes, and air conditioning. These additions significantly improve the driving experience compared to the original 1930s configuration, making the car far more usable in everyday conditions or long-distance cruising. It also rides on new tires and wheels, which suggests that it has been recently refreshed and is ready for use rather than requiring immediate mechanical attention. While the seller does not provide extensive restoration details, the overall presentation indicates a clean and functional driver rather than a show-only vehicle. What stands out to me is the balance this build tries to achieve between vintage styling and modern usability. The 1936 Plymouth Sedan body carries a distinct pre-war charm, with its tall profile and classic proportions, but the upgraded drivetrain and comfort features bring it firmly into the street rod category. Overall, if the seller's description is accurate, this 1936 Plymouth Sedan appears to be a straightforward and enjoyable classic cruiser. It offers the appeal of old-school American design, combined with dependable Chevrolet power and modern driving convenience, making it a solid option for enthusiasts who want a usable vintage hot rod without the complexity of a full restoration project. Number 9. This 1940 Ford Coupe Deluxe, currently listed at $55,000 in Bean Station, Tennessee, is a Restomod-style classic that blends iconic pre-war Ford design with modern Mustang performance and everyday drivability upgrades. According to the listing, the car has been built on a new chassis and is powered by a Mustang Cobra 5.0-liter engine producing around 390 horsepower. This modern V8 setup gives the classic coupe significantly improved reliability, power delivery, and highway capability compared to its original factory configuration. It is paired with four-wheel disc brakes, which greatly enhance stopping performance and make the car feel much more confident and safe to drive in today's traffic conditions. In my opinion, what makes this build appealing is the clear focus on usability. While many classic cars are restored mainly for show purposes, this Ford appears to have been upgraded with real-world driving in mind. Features like power steering, power brakes, and air conditioning suggest that the builder prioritized comfort and convenience, not just appearance or performance numbers. The original 1940 Ford Coupe design is one of the most recognizable silhouettes in American automotive history, known for its rounded fenders, smooth body lines, and timeless proportions. Combining that classic styling with a modern drivetrain creates a strong contrast that many enthusiasts enjoy, especially those who want vintage looks without sacrificing modern drivability. From my perspective, the 5.0 Cobra engine is a solid choice for this type of build because it offers a good balance between power and reliability. It is widely supported in the aftermarket, which makes maintenance and future upgrades easier compared to more exotic engine swaps. Overall, if the workmanship is as solid as described, this 1940 Ford Coupe Deluxe appears to be a well-executed Restomod that delivers classic American styling with modern performance, improved safety systems, and everyday comfort features, making it a strong option for someone who wants a vintage car they can realistically enjoy driving on a regular basis. Number 10. This 1934 Ford two-door coupe, currently listed at $40,000 in North Smithfield, Rhode Island, is a classic hot rod-style build that combines the iconic pre-war Ford body with well-known aftermarket performance components and modern drivability upgrades. In my opinion, what makes this car immediately appealing is its turnkey nature. The seller describes it as ready to drive, which in the classic car world usually means the hard work has already been done. For buyers, that often translates into a vehicle that can be enjoyed immediately rather than requiring a lengthy restoration or troubleshooting process. Built on an Outlaw and TCI chassis foundation, this coupe has clearly been upgraded with performance and handling in mind. These components are widely used in the hot rod community for their strength and improved drivability compared to original 1930s frames. Paired with a 350 cubic inch Chevrolet V8 and a 350 automatic transmission, the drivetrain is a proven combination known for reliability, simplicity, and readily available parts. From my perspective, one of the strongest selling points of this build is the inclusion of air conditioning. Many traditional hot rods sacrifice comfort in favor of style and performance, but having AC significantly improves usability, especially in warmer climates or during summer cruising events. The car is finished in a bold red exterior with a gray interior, giving it a classic hot rod aesthetic that feels both timeless and aggressive. The 1934 Ford coupe body itself is one of the most iconic shapes in American automotive history, and it remains highly desirable among collectors and builders alike. The seller notes that the vehicle is in excellent condition and has been driven approximately 15,289 miles since completion. In my opinion, that mileage suggests it has already been enjoyed and properly shaken down, which could be a positive sign that any initial build issues have likely been addressed. Overall, this 1934 Ford Coupe represents a well-executed blend of vintage styling and modern hot rod engineering. At $40,000, it sits in the range of a finished, ready-to-drive classic that offers strong visual presence, dependable performance, and everyday usability. For someone looking for an iconic pre-war hot rod without the hassle of a full build, this one stands out as a solid contender. Number 11. This 1936 Buick Coupe, currently listed at $31,000 in Bar, Vermont, is a classic American pre-war coupe that has been transformed into a clean and straightforward street rod, combining vintage Buick styling with reliable Chevrolet power and modern suspension upgrades. According to the listing, this vehicle has been built using a small-block Chevrolet V8 engine paired with an automatic transmission, a combination that is widely used in the hot rod community for its proven durability, strong aftermarket support, and ease of maintenance. While the car originally left the factory with a completely different drivetrain, this type of engine swap is very common among builders who prioritize drivability and performance over strict originality. In my opinion, one of the key strengths of this Buick Coupe is its simplicity. It does not appear to rely on overly complex modifications or excessive customization, but instead focuses on a clean, functional setup that is intended to be enjoyed on the road. This kind of build approach often appeals to enthusiasts who want a classic body style without the mechanical challenges of a fully original drivetrain. The suspension has been upgraded with a Mustang 2 front end, which is one of the most popular front suspension conversions in the hot rod world. This setup typically improves steering response, ride comfort, and braking performance compared to the original factory suspension. As a result, the car becomes much more suitable for modern driving conditions while still maintaining its vintage appearance. The seller also notes that the vehicle has low miles since the build was completed, suggesting that it has not been heavily used and remains in relatively fresh condition. This is often an important factor for buyers, as it typically means less wear on both the drivetrain and custom components. Personally, I think the 1936 Buick Coupe represents one of the more underrated body styles from the mid-1930s. While Ford models tend to dominate the hot rod market, Buick Coupes from this era offer a slightly more refined and less common alternative. When paired with a small-block Chevy engine and updated suspension, it becomes a balanced package that combines vintage elegance with modern usability. For enthusiasts looking for a classic pre-war coupe that stands out from a more common Ford-based builds, this 1936 Buick offers an appealing mix of style, performance, and simplicity. At $31,000, it presents a well-sorted street rod that is ready to be driven and enjoyed. Number 12. This 1935 Dodge Sedan, currently listed at $15,500 in Louisville, Kentucky, is a very appealing example of an early pre-war American sedan that appears to have been preserved in mostly original condition. Compared to heavily modified hot rods or fully restored show cars, this Dodge stands out as a more authentic survivor, offering a direct connection to mid-1930s automotive design and craftsmanship. According to the seller, the vehicle shows less than 54,000 actual miles and is described as being in very nice original condition. If accurate, this relatively low mileage is a strong point, as it suggests the car may not have been heavily altered or extensively rebuilt over its lifetime. Original condition pre-war vehicles are becoming increasingly harder to find, especially ones that still retain their factory character. From my perspective, what makes this 1935 Dodge particularly interesting is its simplicity and historical value. Dodge vehicles from this era were known for their durability, straightforward engineering, and comfortable driving characteristics for the time. While it will not deliver modern performance or features, it represents an era when automobiles were built with mechanical honesty and long-term usability in mind. The seller does not mention major modifications or upgrades, which further supports the idea that this is likely a preservation-focused example rather than a heavily restored or customized build. This can be especially appealing to collectors who prioritize originality and historical accuracy over performance enhancements or cosmetic perfection. However, as with any nearly 90-year-old vehicle, potential buyers should still carefully evaluate mechanical condition, structural integrity, and parts availability. Even well-preserved originals may require ongoing maintenance and occasional restoration work simply due to age. Overall, I believe this 1935 Dodge sedan offers strong appeal for collectors or enthusiasts who value originality and pre-war automotive history. Its combination of reportedly low mileage, original condition, and classic 1930s styling makes it a noteworthy option for anyone looking to own a genuine piece of early American automotive heritage. Number 13. This 1936 Ford Tudor sedan hot rod, currently listed at $22,000 in Orchard Park, New York, is a classic pre-war Ford that has been transformed into a straightforward and functional street rod, combining vintage all-steel body styling with proven Chevrolet powertrain upgrades. According to the seller, the car is powered by a 327 cubic inch small block Chevrolet engine paired with a 4-speed automatic transmission. In my opinion, this is a strong and well-balanced drivetrain choice for a build like this, offering a good mix of power, reliability, and drivability without being overly complicated or difficult to maintain. The chassis has been upgraded with a Mustang 2 front suspension, which is one of the most common and effective front-end conversions used in traditional hot rods. This upgrade significantly improves steering response, ride comfort, and overall handling compared to the original 1930 suspension setup. At the rear, the car uses a 10-bolt differential with a transverse leaf spring system, which supports a simple and durable rear-end configuration suitable for cruising and light performance driving. The seller states that the vehicle is all steel except for the hood, which helps preserve the original character and authenticity of the 1936 Ford body. This is an important detail for enthusiasts who prefer metal-bodied hot rods over fiberglass replicas, as it typically enhances both durability and long-term value. From a practical standpoint, the car is described as running and driving well, which suggests it is already sorted as a usable driver rather than a project build. However, the listing does not emphasize show quality restoration, so it appears to be more focused on function and enjoyment rather than perfect cosmetic presentation. What stands out to me is the simplicity of this build. Unlike highly polished show cars with extensive modifications and luxury features, this Ford Tudor seems to prioritize the core hot rod formula. Classic styling, a strong V8 engine, upgraded suspension, and a clean, no-nonsense driving experience. Overall, if the seller's description is accurate, this 1936 Ford Tudor sedan hot rod represents a solid entry into classic hot rod ownership. It offers the timeless appeal of pre-war Ford design, combined with dependable Chevrolet power and modernized handling, making it an appealing option for enthusiasts who want a traditional-style street rod that is ready to drive and enjoy. Number 14. This 1946 Ford Super Deluxe, currently listed at $34,000 in North Andover, Massachusetts, is a professionally built hot rod that blends post-war American styling with modern performance upgrades and long-distance drivability features. According to the seller, this vehicle has been driven approximately 11,795 miles since completion of an extensive restoration. It is powered by a Chevrolet 350 cubic inch V8 engine paired with a 700R4 overdrive automatic transmission, giving it significantly improved highway capability compared to its original factory drivetrain. The car also features a Ford 9-inch rear axle with 3.23 gearing, which helps balance acceleration and comfortable cruising speeds. In my opinion, what stands out most about this build is how comprehensively it has been upgraded for usability. Unlike many traditional restorations that focus mainly on appearance, this Ford appears to have been engineered as a full touring hot rod. Features like power steering, power disc brakes, air conditioning, a tilt steering column, electric wipers, and power windows all contribute to making it suitable for regular driving rather than occasional show use. The exterior is finished in a striking turquoise paint that pairs well with its gray and charcoal interior. Based on the description, the car is all steel and maintains its original body structure, which is an important detail for collectors who value authenticity beneath the modifications. The paint, trim, and chrome are described as being in excellent condition, and the overall presentation suggests a high-quality build that attracts attention wherever it goes. Inside, the custom interior features bucket seats wrapped in gray velour, creating a more modern and comfortable driving environment while still maintaining a classic aesthetic. Additional amenities, such as AM/FM audio and upgraded controls, further enhance the driving experience, making the cabin feel more like a modern cruiser than a traditional 1940 sedan. Another strong point of this vehicle, in my view, is its balance between show-quality appearance and mechanical practicality. The Mustang-style front suspension, upgraded braking system, and modern drivetrain components all work together to provide a smoother, safer, and more reliable ride than the original design could ever offer. Overall, if the build quality matches the seller's description, this 1946 Ford Super Deluxe appears to be a well-executed custom hot rod that offers classic American styling combined with modern comfort, strong V8 performance, and true long-distance drivability, making it an appealing choice for enthusiasts who want both show presence and real-world usability. Number 15. This 1948 Studebaker Commander Starlight Coupe, currently listed at $1,250 in Three Rivers, Michigan, is a classic post-war American coupe that stands out for its distinctive bullet nose design and panoramic rear window styling, even in project condition. In my opinion, what makes this listing interesting is the balance between its completeness and its condition. While the car is clearly a full restoration project, the seller notes that it is approximately 99% complete, which is actually a significant advantage compared to many unfinished or heavily stripped project vehicles on the market. According to the listing, the car still retains its original engine and 3-speed manual transmission, and the engine does turn over. For a practical standpoint, that alone suggests the drivetrain is at least partially salvageable, which can be a major cost-saving factor for future restoration. Having a mostly intact powertrain also gives the next owner a solid foundation to decide whether to restore, rebuild, or modify. However, the seller is also transparent about the level of work required. The vehicle needs substantial structural repair, including floor pan replacement, trunk pan work, and rocker panel restoration. In my view, this places the car firmly in the long-term project or donor candidate category rather than a quick restoration. The Studebaker Commander Starlight Coupe is historically significant for its innovative design, especially its large curved rear window, which was considered futuristic at the time. Even in a deteriorated state, the body still carries that unique styling that makes these cars recognizable and desirable among classic Studebaker enthusiasts. It also comes with a clean title, which is an important detail for anyone considering a full rebuild, as it simplifies the legal process of ownership and eventual road registration. Overall, I think this 1948 Studebaker Commander Starlight Coupe represents a low-cost entry point into the world of classic American restorations. At $1,250, It is not a ready-to-drive vehicle, but rather a foundation for someone with the skills, time, and dedication to bring a rare and visually striking post-war coupe back to life, or potentially use it as a valuable parts donor for another restoration project.